Like today's gonna be a fun day. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be putting a small lift on a Jeep TJ, on a stock Jeep TJ. And we're gonna go through kind of how to do that. Not in depth. It will take a few hours to do. Hopefully no more than a few hours. So I'm not gonna cover simple stuff like how to jack a car up or how to put it on jack stands or how to unscrew a bolt. I'm just gonna say, hey, undo these bolts, undo those bolts. Wah, wah. Stock 04 TJ, you can see I can barely fit 3 fingers in there. That's what she said. Barely, not really even get 3 fingers in there. Can fist it back here. So the first thing we're gonna do is take the shocks off of these 2 bolts. Then we're gonna take the sway bar loose with this bolt on each side. Should be able to drop the axle down, get the springs out. Take the top bolts off the shocks, get the shocks out of the way. And then hopefully we won't have to disassemble the, unhook the track bar from the axle side because we have 2 people here. We should be able to leverage the axle enough to be able to get the new 2-inch springs. I said 3-inch, but 2-inch springs and 3/4 isolators in pretty easily. Then just do the reverse and button everything back up and we should be good to go on the front. When you add these bump stop extensions, make sure you put them underneath this cup. It's all self-explanatory, but you can screw it up. If you don't forget to put the rubber in, then you will have a hell of a time trying to get the rubber back in after you put the spring on. Woo! Look at that. So
it looks like a lot more than 2 inches.
So, oh, well, it'll settle. Yeah. But on the video, I can only get 3 fingers in there.
I know.
On the front. Now I can double fist it. But now you do have a 3/4 inch spacer.
Yes.
2 3/4 inch lift.
Yes, but I was worried, right?
No, I think it looks good. I think you made a good choice. They won't give it a rake. If you put a winch on the front, you'll have that extra.
That's what I'm worried about. Putting a bunch of weight up front.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it come back down again. So we'll do like a bump and hinge on it.
Ooh.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's good.
It does. I think it's gonna be nice.
And those tires don't look too small.
No, not at all.
No, no.
Let me do my video.
Which side does this go? I got it. I got it.
The rear is even easier than the front because you just take the sway bar loose, you take the shocks loose, 2 bolts in there, 1 bolt down there. You drop the whole thing down.
Hey, whoa,
Put new springs in, take the old springs out, put the new ones in, then reverse. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
That's on the back side, right? Inside side. So, like I said, the back will definitely be high.
That is a change right there. Holy crap.
That's a big change.
So I could fist the rear before, and now I can double fist the rear too. Bam, 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 bam.
That's pretty damn good then. Let's see how far those axles shoot.
Not far at all. Probably can't even tell it.
You can tell.
Can you? So you're at the edge of the tread over here. You're half a tread over here, still half an inch. I wouldn't do anything with it.
No?
No, look, mine was like that. You ain't gonna feel any adverse effects because there's, oh yeah, that thing looks, that looks good. Holy crap, come look at it from this angle.
That's high. That's way higher than I figured it'd be.
Well, I mean, it's gonna settle now. It's gonna.
It looks good.
It looks real good.
Not bad for 420 bucks.
No, all spring lift, that's not bad at all. So that jumbled mess of a video is putting on a 2-inch lift on a TJ with 3/4 inch spacers up front. That was a BDS lift, if I didn't say so earlier. You can see how easy it is, especially with 3 people, 3 guys that know how to turn a wrench. It went by pretty quick, and the reason the video was such a jumbled mess is the idea was to get it done as quickly as possible. We were on a time constraint, so we got that done in about 2.5 hours, which isn't too bad. We were goofing off a little bit. And you can probably see how much of a big difference that lift made. If it didn't come through on camera, it made a huge difference in the looks of that Jeep. That Jeep is pretty cool looking with the 2, and it was a good looking Jeep anyway, but it was a really good looking Jeep with that 2 and 3/4 inch lift on the front, 2-inch lift on the back. Jeeps do have a natural rake, so I would always go up at least 1/2 inch on the front. If you're going to put a winch up front, then I'd maybe go 3/4 inch higher in the front. So for anyone who's never put a lift like that on a Jeep, it's not difficult. I know I didn't really show anything, but again, I wasn't even planning on recording it. It was just kind of happened. I had my stuff with me, and the idea was to see how fast we could get it done. You're not going to need much to do those. If you're on a Jeep that doesn't have any rust, then all you really need is a decent ratchet set, a couple wrenches, and stuff to lift the Jeep and support the Jeep. That's going to be about it. I think there was, if I should have made a list of the tools, but total, we used an electric impact, battery powered impact to take the tires off. I think we used a 13 or 14 for the shock bolts, for the lower shock bolts. So we had to have some extensions for the rear with some sockets and some wrenches. I think I remember using a 17 socket for something, maybe the back of the sway bar end links. I can't remember. The front sway bar end links where it was a T50, if I remember correctly. So we have to have a pretty big torque for those. And if you're only going up as high as what we went, you don't have to worry about your track bars. You can pretty much get away without messing with your track bars. We did put a front steering stabilizer on a new one, a little beefier one, and that's nothing to that either. So realistically, it didn't take much at all. Just some sockets, some extensions, a couple wrenches, and stuff to lift the Jeep with. It's really easy. Jeeps are not complicated, especially the TJs. I mentioned in writing in the video that the track bars really, after 3 inches, you need to look at track bars, but up to 3 inches, the stock track bars is okay. It will shift your axle over about 1/2 inch to one side in the front and 1/2 inch to the other side in the rear, but that's okay. That doesn't really mess anything up at all. We did test out the lift a few days later at an or about a week later at an off-road park on some very, very simple trails, but it did fantastic. The only other thing that the owner might have to do is to drop the transfer case a little bit at that height. It's an automatic 6-cylinder. It does have a pretty short drive shaft, and he might get some vibrations on acceleration. If so, all you do is drop the transfer case with some, realistically, no more than 3/4 inch spacers. You can buy some brass spacers from Home Depot, or people use washers, or they make kits for it as well. And you might need longer bolts. But in his case, with an automatic, he'll need 8 spacers, 3/4 inch spacers. Drop it down, and he won't see any vibes. He wants to go up any higher, and he really wants to look at a slip yoke eliminator with a CV drive shaft. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was informative. I know I didn't go through it in depth. Tune back in. I will put a short video up of us going out to Choco Loco off-road vehicle park. That's where we went, and we didn't do anything crazy. We just kind of stayed around the perimeter of the park, and just to kind of test out some Jeeps we had to see how worthy they were going to be when we go back, see what kind of trails we need to hit when we go back. If this is your first time to the channel, I don't post a lot, but if you like what you saw, then please subscribe, hit the like button. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.